Hey guys, this is Hell Hades. This is going to be another Raid Shadow Legends video. So I put a message out earlier today just basically saying what do you want next. There's a few topics that I'm interested in trying to get videos out for. I put 4 of the ones out which I'm kind of closest to, and the one that has led the way today is getting a full epic tier list out. So that's what we're going to talk about today. I guess before I get into that, just wanted to have a quick chat about some of the other YouTubers that I have either followed or kind of keep in touch with. So, you know, if you guys have got time, it's worth looking at. I'm sure you've probably heard of Chofly Mobile. Very good, very informative channel. Salt kind of runs along the same sort of theme in terms of lots of information. Really good for earlier game players. Really good for efficiencies in the in your resources, I guess. Really useful channel. There's a couple of other people to call out. So J Gigs and Darth both got a lot of comedy in their channels. Also, just actually, they're really close to the game as well. So I don't think they're just in there for the lulz, but they're pretty good. Stu Gaming, I'm sure everyone's heard of now. He is very, very good at this game. Got lots of good content going through daily. But I guess the main ones I wanted to just highlight is people that perhaps you haven't heard of. So Ash has got some cool champion guides coming through. We've got Kaya Mobile, who is kind of bursting onto the scene. Has got a lot of knowledge actually in the game. I've learned a few things from some of his videos around Clan Boss or around some of his tier lists. And Sir Jaxo as well has got some really good information. Definitely worth a look. And then someone, if it's just want something a little bit left field, I'd say check out BGE. He is 100% free to play. I'll just bring his profile up actually. 100% free to play. So what he does is he kind of works his way through how he's got to where he's got to, how to make sure you're kind of efficient with your gear. Just some really cool content. I watched his stuff before I was even a YouTuber and found it really interesting. Certainly could save you a few quid if you're looking to spend just by following some of his different advice. So that is BGE. Anyway, let's get into an epic tier list. Actually, sorry, one more thing before we do. My subs have kind of flown up again, which is amazing. I have said I'm going to do another giveaway at 12,000 subs. So I've got about 600 to go. I had a big old spike recently, which is pretty cool. I think it was with my, I did a couple of videos just kind of asking people to sub if they're not already subbed. So thank you for those who have. So yeah, I'm at 11.4. Once I hit 12,000, it'll probably be sometime next weekend. I'm going to do another giveaway video. So the giveaway prize is likely to be a full account review, like I've done before, plus some gems. I'm just working through the details of that. But keep an eye out for that video dropping so that you can sign up and be part of it if you'd like to. Now let's get into the epic tier list. So, what have I done? I've gone through every epic in the game. It took ages. It really did take quite a long time. So what I've tried to do, there's tier lists out there. There's plenty of good information on champions. There's a lot of champion guides now that are starting to come out there. So I think if I think about where we were in this game, maybe even as recent as 3 months ago, you probably could have got champion guides for a lot of the most kind of well-known champions. However, the next tier down, there was really very little information. Even when I started the game, I mean, there was literally no information online. You literally had to just pick through your roster, try and work out what was going on yourself, which I guess is a good way to learn, but it's also a good way to make loads of mistakes. So what I've tried to do here is filter through. This is all my opinion. I'm sure there's some people that will say, I've got numbers wrong on this. Fine, I get it. I've just tried to come up with my opinion against these champions. But I have tried to filter through by important area of this game. How useful do I think they could be to you? And there's some things here that I still probably look at and think, maybe I'm being a bit harsh on Tyrell, on the old offense there. This is definitely a working document. I'll update this as and when I feel like it needs a significant change. I'm going to do something like this as well for rares and for legendaries. But it's going to enable people just to try and make better informed decisions on where to spend their time, where to spend their resources. So there's a lot of tier lists out there right now where you can look at somebody and you probably just see, I'll just hide these a second. You probably just see this. So are they good or not? Yes or no? And it's a very generalist view of, are they good generally in the game? Fine, that's really helpful because it gives you a good piece of information to say, should I invest in this champion or not? Now, what I'm trying to do here is actually say, are they good for that particular team you're trying to improve? And it's a really different question. This game is all about building teams that can get through content, especially when you get into the kind of mid-game onwards. So, if you're looking for a team to run Spider, then you might want to just filter on Spider and say, I only want to see Hades 4 and 5 tier champions through that filter. You can do that filter, you can look down there and just say, great, I now know champions which Hell Hades has recommended would be useful in a Spider team. I mean, I'd love to take this to another level of detail and say, actually, they're useful in Spider, and you know what, Tyrell's useful in Spider because he's got turn meter control and he's got decreased defense and blah blah blah. Yeah, more detail because the devil's in the detail. So you know, you might pick 5 of these champions, and 5 of these champions together could be a crap team unless they've got the different factors that you need. So you kind of need to overlay this information still with, you know, my guide on how to beat the Spider or my guide on how to take down Clan Boss. But all I'm doing is, in their particular role, in that particular fight, what skill level do I think they would achieve? If you've then got the option to have, you know, if you're looking to 5-star, 6-star someone, and you're wondering if they can help you as an all-rounder and be relevant in lots of different areas of content, then really that's what this end score is. So this is all of the scores obviously added together. I've ranked it by the number of 5s that they achieve, so it should be pretty kind of easy just to kind of see which way you want to go with it. I'm going to put the link to this Excel spreadsheet in my description as well. But I guess there's no surprises. So if we look down the list, Tyrell number 1, Morsley Mage number 2, Miscreated Monster number 3, Zargala 4, Seer 5. Most of these champions are just really good across the board. But if you was to say to me, I've got Seer, should I build her? My question would always be to you, well, what do you want to improve? Because if you come back to me and say Clan Boss, I'd say no. Clan Boss, she's a 2. But if you come back to me and say, I really want to speed farm dungeons and I need someone who's going to help me wipe the buffs off people in arena as my offensive nuker, I'd be like, yeah, she's got plenty of ability in that area. So that's why I've done it this way. I'm hoping that's going to be relevant for you. So I think what I'm going to do is I'm just going to highlight some and go into the game and kind of just talk through why I think they are skilled as they are. Literally just going to pick out perhaps a handful of 5. Maybe what I'll do actually is start near the bottom and work my way up and just look for a couple of the kind of high scoring in one area and give you some reasoning behind that. So good one here, Terra Beast. Shockingly bad champion, shockingly bad. But if I go into Orcs, find Terra Beast, and then what I'm looking for is why have I given him that ability as a 5 in Fire Knights? So he's got decreased cooldown on his A1, which is really good for Fire Knights. He's got the ability to place reflect damage on all allies for 3 turns. Amazing for Fire Knights. This is the main reason he's got that score, but actually the A1 is very good as well. And then he's got a heal function on his A3, which will help you as you get through the waves. He's also got an HP aura in all battles, which is quite a strong one. So Terra Beast, generally Terra Beast in the bin. Let's see what his reviews are here. Way too high in pretty much everything. However, if you come to this guide and you're looking for, can I find somebody who's going to help me with Fire Knights? You actually might just find you've got somebody sitting in your vault that you didn't realise could help you with Fire Knights. So that's the way we're kind of trying to build this sheet. If I keep flying up, so a Colt Brawler. A Colt Brawler generally is actually quite bad in a lot of content. The reason why he scores a little bit better in Ice Golems and in Dragon. So let's get him up again. A Colt Brawler, Ogren Tribes. So we know he's good in Clan Boss. He's good in Clan Boss because he lays poisons like you wouldn't believe. He's the highest layer of poisons in the game. He's got a passive that lays poisons for 4 turns at the start of each turn, which is just insane. So he's always laying more poisons. He's also got an A1 that lays additional poisons, and it's a strong version of poison. So all of that stuff is really cool for Clan Boss. It's not really cool everywhere else. He's got no AoEs. He's got no kind of debuffs that are going to help you nuke damage. He's got no debuffs that are going to help you control waves. So why then is he a bit better at Dragon and Ice Golem? Well, Dragon, you need poison to finish the boss. The boss is all about laying poisons and controlling the damage output, controlling the dragon's damage. So it's about healing, it's about increased defense, it's about shielding, and a Colt Brawler will just be your carry once you get to the dragon. For the waves, he's shocking. He's really bad. He's not going to help you clear those waves. You just got to get him to the dragon and he'll finish the dragon for you. Ice Golem, the other one where he scored a 3, he's got an ability in his A2, which is this one here. It's quite a complicated ability, but it's basically got an ability that if he's got 2 or more debuffs on him and he kills an enemy, that enemy can't be revived. So if you're running on auto, there's probably a 1 in 50 chance, maybe 1 in 100 chance that this is going to work, but he might kill one of the ads which the Ice Golem has got. If he does that, that ad will not be revived, and the hits coming from the big boss are not going to be as hard. So that's why he's in there as a 3. If you can get him working for Ice Golem, he's going to do some work for you. So that is a Colt Brawler. We've got another one here, Deathless. So Deathless is a terrible champion generally, but in Arena, I put him as double 5s. If anyone has not seen, I think Stu Gaming's done a video on him actually, where he kind of builds him up with crazy gear. Deathless, Night Revenants. Let's have a quick look. That's Faceless. Faceless, Deathless. Where is he? Here we go. So yeah, so his damage is all based on people in your team being dead, and so basically what you need is you need to build him very tanky. He's very niche, but the more allies that die, the more damage he does, and the more of his abilities start to kick in. So for Arena, as a very niche champion, he's very good. He's got this AoE ability. It will always be critical if there are 2 or more dead allies. The damage increases according to the number of dead allies, and it's defense based. So you can build him like an absolute tank. Is it him or her? Probably a her. Definitely a her. You can build her as an absolute tank with loads of resistance. Make sure that she doesn't die. She's got the ability to put reflect damage for 2 turns up, which is quite useful. She does have a provoke as well, but I don't think that's the best part of her kit. But yeah, this is the one. So once everyone else is dead, she comes in and she nukes the whole enemy team. It's a bit of a, you could almost, actually it'd be interesting to put her just with food, and she could be like this crazy Arena, what do you call it, like a troll setup. So the rest of your team die, she kicks in and she absolutely one-shots everyone. I'd be interested to see if anyone's got that going on, but that's why she's got Arena scores. So kind of keep working our way up the list. So what's amazing to me, there's 122 legendaries here, epics. It's not really until you get up to around, maybe even as many as this, like above 70, that there's really many that I would invest time in. And I think when I was going through them, I was surprised by how many I just didn't really rate as great champions. And it's probably not until I get up to the top, maybe 50, that I kind of got champions here that I regularly see in a lot of content. So yeah, it's interesting. And maybe my scoring's harsh in places, but that's just how I feel about these champions. So let's go on then to, I think you can probably, I'm going to put the link so you can go and look at these scores, make your own decisions. I'm just going to highlight a few which perhaps is worth spending some time on, even if they're not scoring the highest possible scores on this chart. So Rockbreaker, for me, I've got him in my my Epics Take on the Platinum Arena video. For anyone who hasn't seen it, it's worth a look. Rockbreaker is the MVP of that team, and he is really hard to kill. He's really hard to kill, and he hits pretty bloody hard as well. So for Arena, he is a fun champ and a quite a cheap champ to build and still be able to take on some of the big legendaries out there. That's one person I'd call out. Another one I'd call out is Excruciator for Arena. So if anyone has not seen Farting Cows, he's got videos out there. He does a couple of he's actually massively into the arena and very good at it. He's done some videos on Excruciator, absolutely one-shotting enemy champions. I think Excruciator completely ignores defense, so providing you get to have a turn, she can nuke big tanks. So that's someone that's worth a look. You've probably all heard of Royal Guard. If you haven't, Royal Guard's one of the best champions for Spider and Dragon in the game. Also very good for Ice Golem. So although he doesn't feature in like the top 20 of this chart on overall score, he's still probably one of the best epics in the game for this particular sort of content. I keep working my way up, so other people to call out. Probably what I'd say is Fire Knights and Spiders were the two areas where there was the least 5s scored. So if you're really looking for a Fire Knight champion, Allure is one of the best champions in the game for that. She's all about getting her to the boss and she'll do the work after that. She was in my Fire Knight video right towards the end as one of the strats that you can run. Stu Gaming's done a good video on her as well. I think Chofly Mobile has done a good video on that as well. So check it out. I think what I might do is add to this sheet where there are good videos and kind of where you can pick that out. Let's keep going up. So a couple more honourable mentions. Rearguard Sergeant. I'll just pick her up in the list actually. So she's Dwarf. So Rearguard Sergeant, where is she? Just one of the best epics for the clan boss that you can get. Her kit is all clan boss focused. Decreased defense on her A1 means that decreased defense is going to be on for the majority of the fight. She's got a decreased attack on her A2, which when booked becomes a 3-turn cooldown. So it's up for, 75% of the time. You need someone to back her up here, but she's insanely good for that. It's also a really good chance of it landing. And then she's got an ally protection and continuous heal on her A3. This ability in Clan Boss, if you pair her with somebody like a Skull Crusher, she becomes an amazing ally for your team. So yeah, honourable mention there for her. Skull Crusher's in there as well. Hopefully you all know him. He's a counter-attack champion and he's excellent. And then let's get ourselves then into the top 10. So I guess I'm surprised Luria's got that high. I've not really used her a lot, but I know that she's good in lots of areas of the game. So it's just interesting. Sometimes when I do this type of stuff, it's interesting for me to see how far people can push up. Lightsworn, I might be completely biased on Lightsworn because he was my kind of best epic I had for quite a long time. But he is really strong in just loads of content. You know, if I'm doing a takeover video and someone says I'm struggling with Spider, he's one of the champions I look for. If I am doing Ice Golem, he's one of the champions I look for. If I'm doing Fire Knights, he's one of the champions I look for. So he's just got a really well-rounded kit. And yeah, for dungeon content, he is just a really good team ally. So he's cool. Skullcrown, an arena nuker specialist. She's also really good early to mid game in all dungeon content. She drops off a bit for dungeon content towards the end game, but she stays super relevant in arena. Gordorab, pretty much a jack of all trades, can turn his hand anywhere. useful anywhere, and definitely high scoring in arena in early mid game. Again, probably drops off a little bit late game. Madame Cerise is one of my favourite arena champs, and just generally good everywhere in the game. I'm going to flick up to the top 3. So Miscreated Monster, he only scores 1 point off top in the overall stats. I've just got him. I'm going to do a guide on him soon. Every time I do an account takeover, he features in 1 or 2 or 3 of my teams when they've got him. He's an amazing champion. He's pretty much a legendary in an epic skin. He's got so much utility. Let's just pick him out. So Night Revenant again. His kit is just basically insane. He's got stuns, decreased defense on his A1. He's got ally, shielding, and stuns on his A2. AoE stun chance here, which is just mental for an epic. Stun is the best debuff in the game. Ally protection on all allies on his A3. Heals himself for 50% of his HP and continuous heal on himself. All in one kit, all in one move. You can get his HP up easily over 70k, and he becomes an absolute tank to kill. Also, when any ally that gets attacked that's got this ally protection on, there's a chance they're going to get... is it a chance? No, it's going to place a fear debuff on them. So, just an amazing kit. Really, really great epic. Basically a legendary. If we look at Morsley Mage, I've done a full guide already on Morsley Mage. It's one of my favourite epics in the game. He still plays in my arena teams, either one of my top plats. He's amazing in Clan Boss, amazing in Dragon. Just an all-round fantastic champion. He's an enabler for your defense champions to do more damage. So Undead Hordes, let's just quickly pull him up. Here we go. Where is he? Where is he? There he is. So his A1's okay, decreased speeds, nothing too major. But his A2, this is where it's all about. So increased crit rate, increased defense, and block debuffs, all on the same move. 3 turn cooldown when it's booked. It's actually mental. So why does this enable a defensive champion? If you increase a defensive champion's defense, they hit harder and they take less damage. You can then increase their crit rate at the same time. And what you do is you turn a tank into an absolute nuke machine. Anytime I'm doing crazy damage with my Ultan, my Ignatius, any of those guys, it's because Morsley and Mage is standing next to them, making them look good. He's a great champion. He's also got an A3, which is pretty niche and very good. Removes debuffs, so it's a full cleanse. Heals allies, and potential to put turn meter as well. So all in all, amazing champ. Good base speed, good base HP, just generally a good champion. And then lastly, the guy who tops the list, is probably not that surprising. Tyrell, again, epic, who should be a legendary, better than most legendaries in the game, or at least 50% of them. Pretty much can be played anywhere in the game. Even arena defense, I'm probably being harsh. Fire Knight's the only place where I probably wouldn't take him out of my team, but he does still have a bit of turn meter control, so he could even do well there. He's got an AoE decreased defense. Let's just pull him up. High Elves. High Elves, High Elves. Here he is, Mr. Tyrell. I wish I gave him a better looking skin, but there you go. It's the only thing that lets him down. That's why he didn't score top marks. So he's got a decreased attack on his A1, makes him amazing for Clan Boss. He's got an AoE decreased defense and a chance to sleep on his A2, which makes him insane for arena, insane for dungeons, helpful in Clan Boss, amazing for arena. He's then got an A3, which reduces turn meter, chance to stun. Again, insane for arena, insane for spiders, pretty good for Fire Knights. So all in all, great kit. And then he's got an aura, which can just be used anywhere. Overall, amazing champion, worthy of his #1 spot. So yeah, that is my epic tier list. I'd love to know your thoughts. If anyone's got any views that just says I'm completely out, or they would like me to do, a guide on anyone in particular, give me a shout, let me know. But yeah, this has been Hell Hades reviewing all of the epics in Raid Shadow Legends. Catch you soon, guys.